There are places on Earth where the weight of history is so heavy, the air itself seems to remember. Auschwitz-Birkenau is such a place. Between 1940 and 1945, in this corner of occupied Poland, the Nazi regime constructed the largest killing center in human history. Here, approximately 1.1 million people were murdered, 1 million of them Jews. But Auschwitz didn't emerge from nowhere. It was the culmination of decades of hatred, the product of ideology meeting industrial efficiency, and the endpoint of choices made by thousands of ordinary people. This is the full story from the conditions that made it possible, through every stage of its horrific operation, to its liberation and the lessons we're still learning today. To understand Auschwitz, we must go back not just years, but decades. The machinery of genocide wasn't built overnight. It was constructed piece by piece, brick by ideological brick. In the 1870s, a new form of hatred was taking shape across Europe. Unlike medieval religious persecution, this was something different: racial anti-Semitism. In 1879, a German journalist named Wilhelm Marr coined the very term anti-Semitism. It wasn't just about religion anymore. Jews were being defined as a separate, inferior race, a concept with no scientific basis, but devastating political power. Between 1881 and 1884, waves of pogroms swept through the Russian Empire, killing thousands and displacing hundreds of thousands more. In France, the Dreyfus Affair exposed deep anti-Semitic currents, even in supposedly enlightened Western society. Then came World War I. On November 11, 1919, Germany surrendered. The Treaty of Versailles, signed June 28, 1919, imposed crushing terms on the defeated nation, massive reparations, territorial losses, and a clause declaring Germany solely responsible for the war. Into this chaos of humiliation and economic devastation, extremist movements found fertile ground. On February 24, 1920, the Nazi Party announced its 25-point program in Munich. Points 4 and 5 were explicit. Only a member of the race can be a citizen. No Jew can be a member of the race. Between 1925 and 1926, Adolf Hitler wrote Mein Kampf while in prison. In its pages, he laid out his ideology: racial hierarchy, Lebensraum, living space in the East, and eliminationist anti-Semitism. The blueprint was there, in plain view. October 1929, the Wall Street crash triggered a global depression. By 1930, 6 million Germans were unemployed. The Nazi Party, which had been a marginal force, suddenly surged. In September 1930 elections, they became the second largest party in the Reichstag, with 18.3% of votes. January 30, 1933, Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Democracy didn't die in darkness, it died in broad daylight, legally, with millions cheering. Just weeks later, on March 22, 1933, the first permanent concentration camp opened at Dachau, near Munich. Initially for political prisoners, it established the template: isolation, dehumanization, and terror. April 1, 1933. The Nazi regime organized a nationwide boycott of Jewish businesses. Stormtroopers stood outside shops, intimidating customers. September 15, 1935. The Nuremberg laws stripped Jews of German citizenship and prohibited marriage or sexual relations between Jews and Aryans. Jews were being written out of German society, line by legal line. The pace accelerated. March 1936, Germany remilitarized the Rhineland. March 1938, the Anschluss, Germany annexed Austria. September 1938, the Munich Agreement. Western democracies appeased Hitler's territorial demands, hoping to avoid war. November 9 to 10, 1938, Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. In a coordinated pogrom across Germany and Austria, 91 Jews were murdered, 30,000 Jewish men were arrested and sent to concentration camps, hundreds of synagogues were burned, and thousands of Jewish businesses were destroyed. The German government then fined the Jewish community 1 billion Reichsmarks for the damage that had been inflicted upon them. The message was clear: there was no future for Jews in Nazi Germany. On the 23rd of August 1939, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact with a secret protocol to divide Poland between them. At 4:45 a.m. on the 1st of September 1939, without a declaration of war, Germany invaded Poland. World War II had begun. By September 27, Warsaw had fallen. Poland was divided between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. 3 million Jews lived in Poland. Within weeks, they were trapped under Nazi occupation. In October 1939, the small Polish town of Auschwitz, with its 12,000 residents, half of them Jewish, was incorporated into the German Reich. The Germans renamed it Auschwitz. On the 27th of April 1940, SS Hauptsturmführer Rudolf Höss received his orders: establish a concentration camp at Auschwitz. The site was strategic, a railway junction connecting major European cities, surrounded by a swampy area that would discourage escapes. Hess was 39 years old, a veteran of World War I, and a true believer in Nazi ideology. In his autobiography, written before his execution, he described himself as a fanatical National Socialist. He would become the architect of history's most efficient killing operation. The 20th of May, 1940. The first transport arrived 30 German criminal prisoners from Sachsenhausen. They weren't there as inmates. They were there as Kapos prisoner functionaries who would brutalize other prisoners on behalf of the SS. This established a crucial system, making victims complicit in their own oppression. The 14th of June, 1940, the first Polish political prisoners arrived, 728 men from Tarnów prison. This date is considered the official founding of Auschwitz. They were teachers, priests, resistance members, intellectuals, anyone the Nazis deemed a threat to their occupation. The original 20 brick buildings, built as Polish army barracks, were expanded. Prisoners worked under brutal conditions to build their own prison. Guards were drawn from the SS Death's Head units, men selected for their ideological commitment and capacity for cruelty. The 15th of August, 1940, the first execution by firing squad, Block 11, became the punishment block. In its basement, prisoners were tortured, starved, subjected to standing cells where 4 men were crammed into a space less than 1 meter square, unable to sit for days. By December 1940, approximately 7,879 prisoners were registered at Auschwitz I. The death rate was astronomical, from starvation, disease, beatings, arbitrary execution, but this was still a concentration camp built for detention and forced labor.